give you a quick intro, Silver Song is a village that is pretty much comprised or was first built by bards traveling from all over the world in search of a local myth and a very unique magical item that would be particularly interesting for bards. And over the years, this myth has kind of been lost to time a little bit. The locals try and hang on to it, but if you go to different people, you might hear different stories about the origins of the village and the actual myth that created it. So if we give a quick rundown of what Silver Song kind of looks like, overall, like I mentioned, it's basically right on the coast. And so it's attracting a lot of shipments, a lot of fishermen, as well as a lot of bards who have come in search of this piece of mythology and this special item that's kind of inherent to this village's founding. Kind of the main points of entry that you want to kind of look out for is coming in from the northeast, basically, the surrounding woods is basically where you guys would be coming in from. And then that would lead you into the actual village. So kind of the main focal point of the village is the harbor where everyone is kind of trafficking in different wares, as well as just like loading different docks, as well as, or as they prepare to actually ship out their goods or bring back fishing hauls as well. So it's a very kind of culturally rich and very diverse area as it's attracted people from all walks of life throughout the world. So if we go back to the world map, we can see basically Arenthil is the main kind of homeland that Alaris is from. And so it's mainly home to kind of elves. That said, this is kind of a hub across different cultures, across different races that have gravitated towards this one port city. Another thing to look out for as well is the kind of lighthouse that sits atop at the highest point of the village. And so you don't know too much of it, but immediately when you enter the village, it stands out to you and kind of makes its presence very, very well known. As you go through the initial kind of entry road into the village, you start passing by vendors, you start hearing and feeling kind of the ocean air and kind of the distant sea mist kind of wash up on shore onto the docks, and you kind of just take in the surroundings. There's kind of a hustle and bustle going of the different village people. You get a sense that this is a very busy and kind of contradictory place where there's a lot of different people from a lot of different walks of life that have ultimately come together in a kind of a shared new piece of culture in their own myth, but as well as different backgrounds and different things that they would bring in terms of actual the economy into kind of a shared melting pot culture as well. And so as you walk through, you get a very big sense of all of the different sights and sounds and cultures and foods and smells. There's some sense of religion that kind of is superficially clinging on to this village by now. Basically, you get tapestries that are very beautiful. You can see kind of shrines and candle lightings and vigils that seem to be kind of all in honor of kind of maritime gods and goddesses. You see a lot of imagery of different sirens and mermaids and kind of mare people, things like that. And so as you make your way, you start to kind of look around and take in that surrounding and that kind of vibe. So based on what you're seeing so far in the village, how are you guys feeling? What do you guys see? What do you guys do? What do you say to each other?
So, okay, question. How the fuck did we, like, get here in the first place?
Right. So if we go back to the map, I'm kind of teleporting us there just for the sake of, just storytelling and getting us there. But essentially, you would have taken either a road out from the main road, or you could have cut through the Whispering Woods and ended up directly here. Or you could have like backpedaled your way and then circled back and then finally through the main roads get here. But the fastest point would have just been kind of a straight line into like through the heart of the Whispering Woods.
Okay, and like, are we like coming up like on a road, or are we on a road like in town, or
Yeah, so you would have come
where's our
out.
starting point?
Yeah. So I was saying earlier. So do you see the woods here, on the forest here on the outskirts?
Yeah.
So you would have kind of made your way through there, through the dirt path, and then finally come through and starting to kind of take in the actual like
Okay.
village proper with all the different like markets and the sights and sounds of everything along the. I don't know if you can see. Can I like mark up this map or not? Can I screen share? Is that a thing? I don't know. It shows as an option, but I can't actually click on it for some reason. But yeah, so if you see basically on the right-hand side of this map, that's basically where you would be coming in from because you circled around from the top.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
if you can see my mouse. Can you
Yeah,
see
I
it?
can.
Okay, yeah, so you would have been coming in from here and then circling around and entering through here, basically.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
I'm good.
sweet.
Any questions, Steve?
No, I mean, I'm still trying to like take in what I want to do here. I mean, we're coming in from the woods, and we're basically coming into this brand new village with a bunch of bards. We're looking for one specific bard. I know that.
Hmm?
But so if we're coming out of the woods, do we like end up pretty much like where this picture would look like almost right on
Yeah,
the
this would
waterfront?
be essentially once you get further or deeper into the village proper, this is basically the site that you would see coming out of the forest. Yeah, and good point, routing back to kind of your last touch point, which was you basically interrogated Lyriel and you got that information looking for a bard that would help you translate um, or like help decipher the ledger that you have that you can, as far as you can tell, it's in a very ancient or kind of cryptid language or cryptic language. And so that's kind of what brought you here to begin with. But as you kind of just take in the village initially, is there something that you want to see or check out or talk to anybody or what kind of stands out to you? What are you thinking?
What time of day is it?
It's a great question. So this is early morning. So the day is just getting started. As you walk through, people are starting to open up their markets. The ships are starting to come back in or starting to set out for the day. But there's kind of an early morning mist or fog in the light distance or in the medium distance, basically. But it's kind of early day.
I would like to see if there's a tavern, like nearby, where like as we're getting closer and closer into the actual guts of the village.
Okay. What about Senna and Alaris? And you guys can kind of, especially for with this season, you can kind of role play as Alaris a little bit more. I think that would be good. So
I bet. I was gonna start role playing. I just didn't know where the fuck I wanted to start with this shit yet.
me, wherever you want to go.
You um you know what, Lars? I think we should go for a good old breakfast blend down at the old tavern.
Breakfast blend.
Yeah, of beer.
Gross.
It's a nice morning smoothie to wake you up.
I mean,
You know,
it
I hear
Good
they
old
technically is.
started-
spicy juice.
I guess it's technically bread.
Yeah, I hear they started blending in, chicken pot pie right into the mix.
That sounds disgusting.
I mean, you're the one who wanted it.
Well, breakfast blend doesn't have chicken pot pie in it.
So what's in your breakfast blend?
What's in your wallet? Sorry.
What's in a coffee breakfast blend? I don't fucking know.
What is it you feel like having?
Yeah, I'm really confused.
I want a big old thing of beer, and I want to get fucked up because whatever the fuck happened back there. Yeah.
All right, strong start to the day. Maybe we can find a place that has a little something for everybody then. Tier, what are you feeling?
I mean, I'm going to the tavern to try and get some information and maybe a beer, but I don't know. Haven't
No,
thought that far, guys.
no.
Haven't
You
thought that
deserve a
far.
beer. I'll buy you a beer.
All right. Well, if you're buying,
All right, so you start making your way down the main road into the village proper. As you get further and further, the town or the village starts to get a little bit even louder, and you even start to get a little bit like accosted by the local people trying to like come up to you, noticing that you're travelers that have just come in, that you're unfamiliar faces, and trying to kind of sell you different wares and kind of grab your attention. There's one person that's calling out to you um, from just over behind you and sees your backs and just calling out to you. And you can see as you turn around to see him, he's got kind of, it looks like a holy book of some kind, and he's trying to kind of grab your attention as he has one hand on the book, holding the book kind of open to a certain page, as well as like another hand has a big sign that he's carrying around on a stick, which just has a picture of a mermaid on it. Kind of an illustration. It looks like he did it himself. It's kind of crudely done. And he's kind of calling out to you and saying, "You there, travelers, have you heard the word of our Siren Queen?" What do you say?
Have you heard of the word to shut the fuck up?
so I'm gonna move a little closer, just like a step, and keep my hand on my coin pouch, just because this feels like it's a pickpocket scam already.
Never trust a holy man.
I mean, he's
I've
talking
been
about
to church way
mermaids.
too many times. I know exactly what you want from me.
This just keeps happening over and over.
Okay, so what do you do? What do you do?
I'm definitely trying to keep my coin pouch like safe, and then I'll say, no, but we'll hit you on the way back, man. We're trying to find the tavern.
Oh, the tavern. Okay, well, tell you what, you're gonna find tons of folk just like me preaching their own version of the truth, but don't take them too seriously. Have your fill and then come meet me if you want to learn the truth about town and the good word.
Sounds like a plan, man. By the way, where's the tavern?
Oh, just follow the main road. You should see. It's called the Siren Song.
Yeah, actually, I see it from here. Thank you. Yeah, we'll be back. Totally.
I look forward to it. And then, what do you guys do next?
Oh, I'm already walking.
as like turning to go away, like, because I kind of go up with Tyr, is because you said he had the book open, yeah?
The guy, yeah.
Yeah. So can I take a glance at the book and see if the language looks familiar?
For like the Bible pusher, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go up and ask him if you can look at it, I guess.
No, I mean, I just like want to like glance at it to see if it's in like English or what, like maybe another language, or maybe like even the language that's like that we're trying to like, I don't know, decrypt.
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. So you kind of turn and just like hustle a little bit back to him. He gets the sense that you seem a little bit interested. Oh, finally decide to come around.
If you mean your head around my axe, then yes.
Mother word me about distant travelers, especially the tall green ones.
What kind of book do you got there?
Finally, speaking a little bit more reasonably. So, in this tome contains the history of our village and the goddess to which it was raised. Care to take a look?
Sure. And then I'll just take a look at it.
Okay. So you start flipping through the pages. A lot of talk about serving a higher purpose, a lot of talk about kind of the gratitude and debt that is owed to a certain figure that, as far as you can tell, goes by a few different names. They keep kind of changing the name even within this one book. But you get kind of a rundown of the overall story, which is there seems to be an evil lurking in the water that was vanquished, and as a result of that, people came from surrounding areas in honor of that kind of hero and in search of their magic weapon that helped forge the town. And as you're going through it, you can tell that this is in common language. But one thing that does stand out to you, and actually go ahead and roll, what would this be?
Roll what?
Go ahead and roll like history. Yeah, go
History.
roll a history check.
History. That's not bad. 16.
Okay, sweet.
Set up.
So with a 16, you are able to, like, even you are able to look through this text and just have enough historical context to be able to detect inconsistencies, even just within the text itself, where on one hand it's kind of making claims around kind of the great evil lurking below, and it's mentioning ancient, like prehistoric times that may have been vanquished, and then at the same time it's saying that this, like the town's founding myth actually happened in a seemingly completely different much more distant future time period, and so it just feels like it's all over the place with contradictions. But in terms of like detecting that like ancient language, it's not, it's in common basically.
Okay. With all that information, I'm gonna go ahead and just give him the book back and tell him like um thanks for the book, but you can keep it.
All right, and then because you're still much bigger than him, so you take the book that's basically just in your thumb and index finger that you were holding open, and just kind of like drop it, like you were dropping a coin into a well, basically. Just a little flimsy thing descends from like a few feet above his head, and then just lands in his open palms, basically. And then with that, he kind of shrugs his shoulder, waves you off, and turns back around to greet like the next bit of travelers that he can try and find.
All right.
So as you start making your way closer to the Siren Song Tavern, you start to catch kind of different glimpses of conversations in your surroundings, as well as, again, just like the visuals of this strange town's myth that seems to be really fractured and represented in different ways and being told by different people. So you start kind of walking down the cobblestone roads right by the docks. And you can again see like this sense of this myth is just like everywhere. So there's kind of carvings into the local harbor master's office that's just off in the distance there, again with that kind of same symbol of that mermaid on it. It's also painted on the tavern sign. The closer you get to it, you can start to make it out more clearly. It's even pressed onto specific like wax candles as kind of a branding that's on the left-hand side there on the pier. And so as you get further and further in, you come to the tavern, and the tavern keeper essentially welcomes you on in. What do you say? What do you do?
I mean, I thought I was already walking towards there while Senna was.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. You can get there first if you want.
I mean, like,
so while she's playing catch up, you can say you got there first. Yeah. What do you say, or what do you do as he welcomes you on in?
So I walk up to the bar and say, "Hey, nice to see you. I got a couple questions for you, but first, can I grab a beer?"
Well, you came to the right place. Storytelling and drinking is what we do best in this village. And he goes, "That'll be." And the question that eludes me to this fucking day is, how much is ale?
I mean, it's whatever you want it to be, man.
Let's say, yeah, okay, yeah, I just googled it. Okay, let's do 4 copper pieces if you have it.
There, hold on, let me see. I should have it. I'm pretty
We
sure.
need like a banker for the fucking campaign.
Honestly, though.
Maddie, do you want to be a dedicated banker? You can hoard all the gold, but you actually have to
Okay.
like stick to the prices.
Why are we giving the gold hoarder the option
just
to
think it'd
be
be
a
the
banker?
most fun,
Hey,
to be
that
honest.
happened in Baldur's Gate, so
She-
both your shot.
You can
Yeah,
be the
well, no,
treasure
we're actually
keeper.
playing D&D.
No, Maddie's loaded in our campaign already. Like it's really something. How she works.
I know, because she steals everything.
Exactly. Just like in Baldur's Gate, I was filthy fucking rich.
Oh my god.
You know how many people I fucking pickpocketed in
Yeah,
Baldur's
we
Gate?
do know because
It's fucking
No,
every
we
five
ridiculous.
watched you do it.
every 5 seconds it was like, hey guys,
We need to reset.
let me
Got caught.
reset. I accidentally pissed off the entirety of the city.
Yeah, somehow everyone wants to kill me now. Oops.
Okay,
God.
so that's 4 copper if you got it. If not, I'll take a couple silver.
Actually, my friend said she was gonna buy me a beer, so here's an IOU. She should be here soon.
All right. Well, we don't really accept those around here. So once she gets here, you're more than happy to drink your fill. That said, if you still want answers, what are you questioning about? What brings you here?
Damn it, I was really hoping for that beer. Okay.
I think Senna can be here by now, by the way, so she can come in.
So like right when I see her big ass walk through the door, I'm like frantically waving at her. God, I want this beer now. Come on. So I asked the bartender, like, so we're looking for someone specific. I know it might not be something you can do, give away a name and position, because we don't know this man personally. His name is Ulrich Voss. Do you know him?
Aldrich. I'll tell you a little something about him. He is quite the recluse. We did meet a couple of years back when he first came to our village. Since then, he set himself up up in the lighthouse. Basically, he seems to be a chronicler of some kind, just doing research on our village and God's knows what else. I couldn't tell you too much about him. Is there a reason you're looking for him?
We hear that he can help us with a problem that we have.
Well, he doesn't seem to be much of the generous type in our experience. What kind of problem?
Rather not go into the details. Do you think if we went up to the lighthouse, he'd give us a time of day?
I would say best try elsewhere. This village is filled with some proper folk that would do you much better to speak to. I would say if you want connections and information, our harbor master is probably the best source.
Okay. What's his name and where can I find him, just in case?
His name is Bryn, Bryn. You should be able to find him just out on the main dock. You'll be able to tell him he has a local office right by the dock as well. Just big sign, harbor master. You can't really miss it. He can get you in touch with pretty much anybody that comes through here, and his local knowledge is unmatched.
Okay.
Now,
So,
a drink.
yes, I was gonna say. So, can I get that beer?
Can I get that coin?
Largest ales.
I'm looking at Senna.
All right. Well, if you want the largest ale, we got full gallons. That'll cost you 2 silver.
6 silver it is.
Guess it pays to be rich.
She's funding our fucking campaign.
Literally.
All right, so the tavern keeper basically turns his back to you, heads over to the barrels of ale behind him, and pulls over At first he reaches for a couple of like hand-sized mugs, but he decides, you know what? No, he skips over that, and he starts to drag, and you can hear it kind of like scraping across the wooden floorboards underneath him that are just kind of like damp with spilled like years of ale. Basically, he starts to drag a wooden barrel. And pull underneath kind of the dispenser and starts to pull down the levers to start basically overflowing this barrel with ale. And one after another, he starts loading them up, and he basically starts like heaving and hoeing on top of the on top of the bar and just slamming it down out in front of you, 1 gallon of ale at a time, basically.
And I'll have 1 beer.
That
Yeah, and
is
with
your beer. Break up.
what was that?
You have
I said-
6 fucking barrels of beer.
Yeah,
There's
so
about to be 0 barrels, so get to drinking.
so with that, he grabs the keeper basically grabs a normal sized mug and like dips it inside of that one of the gallons and just like plops it onto the bar in front of you.
Senna starts salivating.
I grabbed the mug before she could take that mug, including the other barrels that she has. Like, no, this one's mine.
I grab his arm. I grab his arm as he tries to take my beer from me.
Bitch, you said you buy me a beer.
This is my beer.
Yes.
So while you guys are bickering, this time a different person comes up to you, not a holy man, quote unquote, but this time it's someone from the local market who's just trying to sell you different kind of memorabilia. So he has like different beaded necklaces and shells with engravings. Basically, it looks like he just kind of randomly scraped whatever he could find by the docks or by the shore and tried to like put the town's piece of mythology on them to try and like just slap it on there and sell them to you. So he comes up to you and said, "Travelers, would you care to take in a piece of history, a piece of this town like that exists like no other?"
Do you have beer?
What? And he looks up and down at your 6 barrels and mug and says, surely you're stocked up on beer. I can offer something for the soul.
That's not my question.
Well, no, I don't have any beer, but you're in the right place. It seems like you're okay on beer. This is something you can get nowhere else.
You can never be okay on beer.
All right, the tavern keeps.
Yeah, I was
Go
going
ahead,
to
go
say,
ahead.
I wanted to cut it here. Just like,
Yeah.
set it, please. I'm sorry about my gigantic smooth brain friend here. What are you selling?
I bring more than mere tchotchkes. These are symbols of a history. These are symbols of a mythology. This is a piece. This is something that you can take with you, that nourishes the soul, not just the body. And looks up and down at Senna's massive green body, and as she's chugging away at her ale.
The only thing that nourishes and soothes the soul of the body is a big old thing of beer.
I'm sorry, my friend. I don't think any of that will help us here. I think you're talking to the wrong people for what you're selling.
All right, and so with that, he kind of the tavern keeper basically cuts in and says, "Shoo, stop accosting my customers. This isn't the time or place. Okay, if they come in on your little tchotchke stand, that's for you to do. But if people come here, they can have a sense of relief from the nonsense and scam artists of the world. Time to go." And with that, he nods over to his like basically guard and like bouncer basically to drag him by the collar outside. And so with that, you kind of hear like a heave and a hoe, and then like a plop, and then a bunch of basically the sound of shells like shattering on the dock outside the tavern. So the keeper basically goes to you and says, "Pay them no mind. You're likely to be accosted quite a few times while staying here. As long as you look this out of place, like travelers." The town, some of our village members takes our myths a little bit more seriously than others, but at the end of the day, there's not too much going on here. If you're coming here for some work, the port employs about 30% of the town. I could point you in that direction, but at the end of the day, it's a port city, more or less like no other.
Well, first I want to say thank you for throwing him out of our face. I didn't know exactly how to end that because I'm not trying to make enemies right away in the city.
Oh,
Thank
he's
you.
harmless.
Yeah, just you never know. So yeah, you said jobs, right?
Yeah, are you looking for work?
Possibly. What would be the work?
Well, you could take your pick, but your best shot is going over to the docks and just getting a sense of who's hiring. Well, all right. Well, now that I say it, I guess I could come clean a little bit. So there isn't nothing going on over here. Essentially, a lot of the dock workers seem to have been in some dire straits lately. People are coming and going from the ship voyages. They should just be pretty humble and straightforward shipments, but sailors go out into the open ocean. By the time they get back, some of them are missing. Some of them seem to have completely lost their memory of their voyage. So if you're willing to take on that sort of thing, then they're probably looking for work in that area. Sure.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, and I raise my glass towards them, and then I turn to Senna. What was all right? So when I was asking the questions in the beginning, was she and Alaris close enough to hear it, or would I have to explain it to them now?
I thought we were sitting right next to you.
Yeah,
Well,
you'd be next to each other. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Because I know I was trying to say I got there first, so I was wondering exactly the distance.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is me talking to Senna and Alaris. So I think what we should do first is probably go talk to that harbor master, just to kind of get a good lay of the land. Maybe even get some answers from him before we go try this Aldrich guy.
Can we do that after I quench my thirst?
You're already doing that. You're on your third barrel already.
Well, yeah, I want to finish it.
It's like, do you leave halfway through a meal?
I'm not. I'm not even done with my beer. We have time. Just, I figured that might be the best course of action. What do you guys think?
Sure, Mr. Wizard Man.
Okay. I'm just gonna sink into my beer. Mr. Wizard.
What is Alaris doing? What is he thinking?
What do you want him to do?
I don't fucking know.
Try and steal one of Senna's berries.
You can do that. What do you? Especially for this arc, I do want you guys to RP as him or make decisions for him a little bit more.
Okay.
So yeah, whatever you want him to do, for sure.
I'm trying to think of what he would possibly say to that. That makes a lot of sense to me. Just because we have to have a place to start, and if Aldrich is going to be this guy who's going to push back, then we have to have some sort of information flow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Lars is in agreement then with your plan. He thinks it makes sense. So as you finish that ale, do you have any other questions for the tavern keeper, for anything else that you want to kind of do as you're sipping on or chugging on your barrels?
No, I'll just chuck my beer, thank him for the barrels, I guess, and just be like, all right, I think it's time to head out.
Okay. As you guys go or like kind of scooch back and start to make your way out, Alaris is kind of curious and starts asking Senna a little bit about what she read in that Bible and what exactly is the deal with this town smith and weird imagery. Yes, you, Senna.
Hang on 1 second.
You're good.
The Walmart app's being all fucky.
Okay.
Okay. Can you repeat that one more time? I'm sorry.
Yes, ye old Walmart beckons. It's okay. um, yeah, so Lars basically has some questions and just like natural curiosities about like what the fuck is up with this town and the supposed myth. So he's just kind of naturally curious, like, what did you read in that book?
It's a bunch of period. It's a bunch of. It seems like a bunch of like pyramid scheme bullshit. Seems like some crackhead crackhead got a hold of a pencil and paper and started writing.
And then that crackhead went on to produce this whole town. Look at these tapestries. This is way more than a scam. Who did all this? What is this?
I have no idea, but that book had some weird shit in it.
And with that, Alaris kind of nods and expresses like, it's true, not every book can be trusted.
They called the same person by 7 different nicknames. I was so fucking confused. I could barely read.
Well, that's just lazy editing.
Exactly.
All right, so as you guys make your way out of the tavern, what do you guys kind of see, and what do you guys do next from there? You said you wanted to go over to the harbor master.
Yeah, I immediately start looking for the big harbor master sign that the tavern keepers talked about.
Okay, so if we go back up one, it'll probably help us a little bit. So we can say, if you can still see my mouse, we can see that the tavern is like maybe around here.
Okay.
And then from there, you basically turn the corner and start to make your way over to kind of the main hub of the harbor. And we can see that basically this government type building is where the harbor master and other kind of government administrative folks kind of are working in the center.
Okay, so I'll head straight there.
All right. As you come in, or as you start making your way there, basically, you start to get closer and closer to a bit of a crowd that's forming. It looks like a little bit of a commotion or kind of a heated disagreement. And so it's several different sailors kind of crowded together that have just disembarked from their ship that has basically parked itself right here by the harbor. And that group of sailors are basically kind of bickering with a man that you can't really see because they're kind of surrounding him in a C shape, and he's basically just in the middle of them. And as they're kind of bickering, you get closer and closer, you're getting little bits of the conversation. What do you do at that point? Do you want to hold back and listen in? Do you want to step in? What are you guys doing there?
I want to stand back and listen.
I was going to say, I'd take a little peek into what they're saying before I hop in there.
Okay. So you're catching, it's kind of like a lot of people talking over each other, so it's hard to get like a consistent through line or really full like sentences, but you're able to basically understand the sailors are like talking over each other, trying to like defend themselves and trying to get compensation from the person that they're talking to, and basically be reimbursed for their losses. So essentially with that, the person that they're all bickering with, as you get closer and closer, you start, or not closer, but essentially as you hear more and more of what he's saying, he starts to take on more of an authoritative tone. And you can tell, okay, this person's kind of in charge, or at least is trying to kind of maintain some fucking peace and order among them. Basically telling them like, you lads have come and gone at your pleas. This is your shipment. You're adults. If you decide to come back here with the faintest of memories of what you did in your voyage, that's on you. I can't be reimbursing every shipment that's run afoul. I don't know the cause of it, and it seems like neither do you. So as far as I'm concerned, you're all lying to me. And so at that point, what do you do, if anything?
I almost just want to sit back and see how this goes.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
Dan, real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt, but they're like 5 or so minutes out.
Okay, no worries. Thanks for the heads up. All good. So with that, basically the person that they're talking to basically says, now, if you have any sort of proof, any evidence, go ahead and talk to your guilds. Come back to me, have an actual representative put together a case. But in the meantime, this is not how we do business here. Okay, now away with you. And he kind of like waves his hands, clearing the crowd as they, despite their kind of like gruff nature, they do kind of seem to respect his authority and back off. And with the crowd kind of dispersing, we reveal our harbor master, Bryn.
Damn, Bryn's seen some better days.
Bryn don't fuck around.
Bryn looks like he's made of fucking iron. My God.
Okay, so from there, Bryn seems to be the most frustrated person in this village. He's kind of a very gruff and practical man. But as far as you can tell, as soon as the crowd disperses, he kind of like looks down, rubs his temples, like he's quietly keeping something on his shoulders, like he's quite upset or disturbed by what's happening, basically. What do you guys do there?
I'll go up to him and just say, "Hey, is everything okay?"
Sorry for the disruption. You're a traveler here, or you got business with the docks?
You could say that. We're kind of just looking for some information, and we heard you might be that person to give it.
I suppose it depends what kind of information. I've got a lot to attend to at the moment. What can I do for you?
What do you know about Aldrich Voss?
Aldrich. He's a man of few words. He doesn't seem to identify much with this village itself. He kind of keeps up to himself. He kind of points up at the lighthouse that's just over his shoulder there, and basically explains, like, came in a few years back. As far as I can tell, he's a researcher of some kind. We thought having someone around here could actually help make sense of the strange going-ons and the strange origin of this village. As far as I can tell, he hasn't contributed much to us, though.
Now, you say strange goings-on. What do you mean by that?
Well, as you might have gathered just from the recent bit of rabble costing me, essentially, these shipping lanes have been unreliable for months. Cargo has been bound to the royal repositories and should be on the most secure of shipping lanes, but they keep arriving late or not at all, or with parts of the shipments missing. And then the rabble comes to me and wants me to make sense of it or reimburse them, as if I have any insight. So I'm not sure, what's causing it, but as he's kind of getting into the story, you can, even for someone like this, you can see there's kind of a visible amount of nervousness with him. And he starts to kind of explain even more, like, the ships have come, the ships come back in with confused crew, with fractured memories. They remember leaving port, but they don't remember anything that happened in between once they return. And they don't seem able to actually explain what actually happened. So that's as much as I know at this point.
Have you guys had pirates in the area?
You know, I wouldn't think so. It wouldn't surprise me if, well, let me put it this way. And he kind of like leans in, looks over his shoulder to make sure that maybe no one of higher authority is kind of listening to this part. And he starts to basically say, listen, the Royal Navy isn't exactly what it used to be, or at least they don't exactly seem to want to protect our shipments, even if it's going to the mainland, to their own kingdom. So it wouldn't surprise me if these ships are being attacked. If it's pirates, potentially, I couldn't say. I've seen little evidence of it. At least pirates, they tend to make themselves known. But if they're being attacked in the open waters, if they're being attacked during what are supposed to be secure shipping lanes, then maybe that's even a greater cause for concern than I initially thought. And he kind of like bows his head a little bit heavy, and then leans back out.
Okay. Well, if we can help with that in any way, please let us know. That sounds interesting. But for now, thank you for the help with Aldrich. We're actually going to go see if he'll show his face.
Okay, I want to stop you for 2 seconds. So due to my background, would I know anything of the sort of this happening?
Like in terms of like what could be causing the shipments and the
Like
loss of memory?
like the thieves and pirates and shit.
That's a great question. Go ahead and roll. What would it be? History, or would it be something else? Let's see.
Good question.
If I also think maybe Alara should do this role too.
Okay, yeah, you can roll for him if you want.
Yeah, but
let's decide what it would be.
History?
Let's look. Let's see what history would actually be. Allows you to recall lore about historical events, peoples, nature. Oh my god, nations and cultures. Let's see what else it could be. Yeah, it would probably just be history, to be honest. Unless you want to do like an Arcana for tier for Alaris to see if like maybe there's magic, but I don't know.
I mean,
Ooh, 17. Let's go. I have a -1.
I'll roll for history. That seems like a better option because like I don't. If there's something magical happening, it probably wouldn't be happening in the harbor. So
Okay.
let's do 12.
Okay. Yeah, let's start with Senna then. And if you want, you can roll for Lars too, and I'll try and think of something to round it out.
That was for Lars.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, so we can start with Senna. So Senna basically recalls this as soon as she hears the word pirates. She remembers the fact that her homeland, which are basically, if you look in the right-hand side, the lower right-hand side of the map here, the starred waste, this is Senna's homeland. And she does have a good amount of knowledge about the kind of the relationship between her homeland and Alaris's homeland, particularly around piracy and kind of criminality and just warring, just kind of a bit of a warring history. And so to Senna's knowledge, essentially, the Royal Navy has pretty much locked down and secured Arenthil, Alaris's homeland, to the point where Senna's people used to pretty relentlessly terrorize the shores and try and even abduct ships and basically are pretty much trafficking in piracy for a very long time, but they have since been shut down. And that those kind of mentioned shipping lanes that are supposed to be secure, as maybe you can kind of see from this part of the map here with this trail, those have been pretty much cut off. So the starred wastes have been essentially isolated. Cenozomas have essentially been isolated to where they're at war with each other and they can no longer go to war effectively against other territories. So although there's a history of piracy, they likely are not the culprits of this of this recent occurrence, but you can't know that for sure.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then what did Alaris roll again?
12.
Okay. Yeah, and so Alaris, let me think. Yeah, to Alaris's knowledge, he basically gets a similar vibe, but on a much lower level as Senna. So he kind of just like, as you're questioning, like if it could be pirates, Alaris does briefly look up and glance at Senna, wondering if maybe it's not anyone she knows, basically. But he doesn't have any specific knowledge of like pirate tactics or if they could be involved when this in this village. This is basically his first time in the village, basically. Even though he's from the mainland as a whole.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
So at that point, I guess what we leave Bryn and head towards Aldrich, right?
Yeah, unless you have like any other questions.
Mm-mm.
Right?
No, I mean I told them already that we'll try and help them figure it out if we can. That's pretty much all I wanted to get across.
All right, sounds good.
Oh no, actually, quick question.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask him. So you mentioned that he was a man of few words. Is there anything, in particular that he likes that he maybe can be bribed with?
Good idea, Maddie.
All right, so with that, even that makes Bryn's kind of like stern expression start to chuckle a little bit. And with that, he goes, I could tell exactly where you're from the moment you walked onto these docks, and now we've erased all doubt. So as far as I know, Aldrich, from my limited interaction with him, he's actually quite a charming man when he wants to be. But the only thing he really seems to value is his own privacy and his, well, books, scrolls, tomes. He has a deep fascination and really obsession with history. You know, he essentially is curious about everything. When he first came here, he started asking questions about our history incessantly. I tried to tell him, like, listen, the myth of this town, it's a little bit fractured, but essentially, you know, siren queens, magic items, these are things that I don't have modern knowledge into. So if you have any pieces of knowledge that you could share with him, or any like, I don't know, books or pieces of history or something like that, that would probably go a long way with him. You know, he basically came here, it seems like, just for research. He seems to have created a library in that lighthouse or adjacent to it, where he conducts his research. And since then, he's kind of never left. Nobody around here really pays him no mind, though. He keeps to himself. So that's as much as maybe I can really tell you.
Understandable. Thank you so much.
So I also want to cut in again right after that and say, so you keep mentioning his research. Do you know what kind of research? What is he researching?
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, the only hint I could really get was whatever he asked the local townspeople. So when he first arrived a few years ago, you could see him basically like scouring the shorelines. You could see him studying and trying to illustrate our tapestries here. And he points over to kind of that the mermaid tapestry. And he would ask the local folks about their interpretations or their versions of the local founding myth. So it seems like, at least initially, that's what his obsession was. I don't know if he's able to find anything deeper than that eludes the rest of us about our town or about anything else. But I don't know what else he gets up to or really looks at. Oh, one thing that is odd. He seems to have created. He doesn't exactly offer tours, but as far as we can tell, um, during my walks here at night, every now and then, in addition to that lighthouse going off, signaling ships, every now and then a beacon will start to come through the lighthouse's head up into the night sky. Only for an instant, it flashes and then it disappears. And then it seems like he's made his own additions to the lighthouse and built his own kind of home and library that's quite functional and research lab grafted onto the library or grafted onto the lighthouse to the point where there's even like a large telescope that gets unveiled. And if he's stargazing, if he's charting anything, I couldn't tell you. But he seems to be an endlessly curious man.
All right. That explains a lot and nothing. I appreciate that.
I'm just gonna give him a head nod and then just kind of head out. Also, Dan Grocer just got here.
All right, sweet. Yeah, take your time. If you want, we can take a break here.
Okay.
And we are back and action. So, where we left off was basically we were talking with Bryn, and Senna asked a great question about like, hey, can we bribe the guy? Like, what is this guy actually into? What is he researching? You guys were asking about. So, with that piece of information before you leave, is there anything else you want to talk to each other about or to Bryn about?
I want to ask where the library is, if there's a library.
Okay. Yeah, Bryn basically he points back to the lighthouse. It's basically like an attached building, either within or like next to it, as far as he knows. So you can't miss it. Just go up to the lighthouse.
Is there a store that sells books?
Well, look around you. There's bards aplenty. Everyone here basically has a story to tell, but not much of an audience. So you don't have to go too far. But in terms of any books he'd be interested in, I'd imagine they're already in his library.
All right, that's a fair point.
Well, I don't know though.
Well, I'm just saying, you did mention that he had a library, so he probably does have any of the books we probably want to give him, so that does make sense. Well, thanks, Bryn. Appreciate all the help.
Anytime, travelers, come by if you needed something.
And then I'll turn around and start heading towards the road to the lighthouse.
Okay.
On our, cause I'll follow suit with here. Is there any like stationery stores? I guess. On our way to the lighthouse.
Sure. Well, yeah. Is there something? Like, what do you want to do with it?
I want to buy a blank journal.
You guys are carrying a journal that you intend on showing him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted to also.
So why lie?
No, I'm not like. Fucking do it, Dan. God damn it. You don't.
That's damn monkey.
Just what I just want to buy a blank fucking journal.
I just want to know what the goal is. It helps me figure out what to say.
So what I want to eventually do is like write down like my history, or just like write down like stories from like where I'm from. So like it's something that unique that he doesn't have.
Okay, that's sweet. I like that idea. Okay, so yeah, let's say that as you make your way back from the docks, basically, you turn the corner as you get closer and closer. Let's say right around the bend here. You walk past or at the gates of a stationery store that's selling all sorts of like packaging materials, right? This is a shipment like hub. So I guess it would make sense they would have like packages and crates and scrolls and inks and kind of plumes and things like that, as well as like kind of like the wax stamps. You could kind of make your own logo if you want. There's a little station to do that. So yeah, as you kind of come in, what do you do? What are you looking for?
I'm just kind of looking like you know, like the book that you got me, like the to, like actually take notes in. I want
Mhm.
something that kind of like maybe like looks like that.
Okay. So you start making your way towards the different aisles, and there's one section in particular that catches your eye. It looks like it's for kind of ornate journals. They look a little bit more pricey, and then there are some that look more leather bound, and some that are just kind of like loose pages that have been like tied together with twine for someone to just be able to take notes. So what kind of range are we looking at here?
Something not like too expensive, but not like too cheap. So like middle ground, but like something that's like sturdy. That I like. If you like look and feel it, like it doesn't feel like shit.
Okay. Okay. So with that, you make your way basically to the middle shelf, and one of them in particular catches your eye. It seems to be kind of in keeping with the theme and like the vibe and aesthetic of this place, of this village, where it's better quality than leather. It looks like it looks like it's a journal that specifically was designed to weather difficult conditions that are used maybe for sailors to be able to kind of keep their own journal or track their shipments or do whatever they want to do. And so it's a little bit weatherproof. It's a little bit like maybe waterproof, especially on the binding and on the front and back covers. So it looks like maybe it's like leather on the inside, but they have kind of a more hard shell on top of it. And then there's kind of like an inlay design on the front of it that shows a siren um, playing a flute.
Okay,
And
sounds
that
good
is
to
like
me.
that kind of embroidery is like silver.
Okay, interesting. I pick it
Yeah.
up and I purchase it.
All right. So you kind of
Wait, I have a good question. Is there anybody in here?
do you want to try stealing it, Maddie?
Yes.
Of course she does. 'Cause
You
it's
can
a day.
certainly try.
Um. Oh,
Um, so
famous
yes,
last words.
so I'll kind of paint the picture a little bit first. So there's a couple people just kind of perusing more casually, but you're pretty much a little out of direct line of sight from the person, um, like standing behind the I don't know what you call it, like the register, let's say.
Okay.
Um,
So if from this like aisle to like the front door, is there any like people there?
there's a couple of people around, but not directly uh, in your aisle. And the main like proprietor of the place cannot see exactly what you're up to from where they are, unless like they really like tilt their head and look directly at you for whatever reason.
Okay. Do I pass like directly in front of the cashier thing when I leave?
Yeah, you would have to. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Okay. So I'm gonna lift it, and then I'm gonna like continue like the rest of the store like I'm looking for something. Um and like kind of like look perplexed, and like I just like seemingly can't find the thing that I'm trying to find.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna like go up to leave. Hope it doesn't bite me in the ass. I wanna go up to leave, and I'm gonna ask the cashier guy. I'll say, hey, I've been looking for this like I don't know. I want to say like this really like weird obscure fucking thing. I can't think of it right now. Like something like so fucking off the cuff. Um, and I was like, oh, I'm
Think of
looking for
something.
this thing, whatever the fuck it is. I can't name it right now. Um, do you happen to have it? Because I was looking in your store and I can't seem to find anything of the sort.
Okay, so the old woman, the old sweet old lady that runs the place, is kind of hunched over like a question mark posture. She looks up at you, and it's hard for her to even tilt her head up to because you're so much taller than her, and you're just towering
I'm
over
gonna
her
bend
little
down.
stand. Okay, you take a knee. And she goes, "Oh my, what pretty rainbow hair you have." And so she goes, "Now, what did you say it was called again? Is this a book? Is this a work of fiction?"
It's a book. I don't fucking know. I'm trying to
Think
think
of something. I'm
that's
making
not
up a whole
coming to my
fucking world.
brain. What'd you say?
Try to think of something.
Um,
It can be dumb. It can be silly. It can be whatever.
uh, I'm looking for um,
A tear can help out too, by the way.
yeah.
Like if he sees Senna struggling to lie,
I mean,
I can't fucking think
of
anything. Like
all
I'm blanking.
people.
Yeah,
you also
tear
have a
help, please.
Lars. You also have a Lars.
Okay, yeah, so right, yeah, but you can RP as him too. I don't want to
I guess that's
do
right.
it for her.
Okay, so just so I get the whole. This is me talking, not here. So just so I get the whole situation, Maddie right now is talking to the person who's like, the little old lady who runs the shop.
Yes,
She
trying
wants
to
to
lie.
steal. She wants to steal the book, and she needs my help by distracting the lady.
No. So what
He's trying to
what my
think of a
plans
lie.
are. So I'll try to tell you what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to come up with something that's so fucking obscure that I know that they don't have. So then she's like, "Oh, we don't have them." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." And then I'm just gonna like walk out the fucking door.
Okay, Alaris chimes in. Do you want help?
Please.
Okay, so Lars cuts in and basically says, my foreign friend here is looking for a catalog of the surrounding forest fauna. Might you have anything to help her with her studies? She's trying to. She's kind of a druid trainee, if you will. She's under my tutelage, so it's just nice to have a local help us out. Would you be able to find us something like that? And she goes, she kind of like adjusts her glasses that are kind of like a little bit fogged up at this point, or just like you can barely see behind them. And she goes, "Oh my, I think we might have something in the back. Let me peruse back there." And she kind of like shuffles off. And she kind of like steps down from a little step ladder. And that which reveals she's actually like basically a third of the height that you thought she was. Let's say 2/3 of the height you thought she was. And then she shovels past basically at your kneecaps. Very, very slowly looking through the different aisles, finally like going around the corner in the back room, behind a little curtain. And with that, you kind of lose sight of her. Alaris kind of looks up at you and says, "You couldn't even make up a book to read?"
Shut up. That breakfast deal got me a little fucked up, okay?
Fair enough. All right, so she's out of sight. What do you want to do there?
I kind of want to just like fucking leave, but if she comes back with something, then I'll have to buy it. You know what? If she comes back with something, we'll just say like that's not it.
That's not what we're looking for. Yes, we could lie in this game of high fantasy. We could pretend that things.
Yeah, let's do that.
We could not tell the truth in this world.
Because the thing is, like, if I walk out, then like
it'll be terribly awkward. It's bad for your reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you want to do, Maddie? Do you want to try and steal it?
I'll just wait for her to come back.
Why do you want to wait for her? I thought you were trying to get rid of her so you could slay it.
If she notices that it's gone, it's like we stick out like a sore fucking thumb. So I mean, it's not that fucking difficult to find us.
Okay. Can I know? What are you trying to do? You want to steal the journal?
Yes.
Okay. And so you got rid of her. So
Maddie, you just told me to do that. I have good sleight of hand. Holy shit.
You both probably do. She probably has amazing sleight of hand because she built a whole character around it, and now she doesn't want to do it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like I want to like lift it, but I don't want like my description out there because of like.
Okay,
Still
well,
got like,
maybe you
like
should
a
have
fucking
told
sore
Tyr or
thumb.
someone to distract her while you do it. I don't know. And you
Well, I already did it because no one was there.
Okay, so she's looking in the back. What do you do in the meantime? Do you do anything in the meantime?
Nice weather we have.
You don't even try and pocket the book?
I already did. I thought I already did.
You gotta roll for that. Wait, when did you think you did it? Did you,
I when I was back at the thing, I said I lifted it.
Okay, well, we're not British, so when I hear lift, I don't. Maybe that didn't register as I tried to steal.
It's a slang word for
in
stealing.
in England. Okay, so but you still gotta do a sleight of hand for that. So when did you try to steal it? When she was there?
When I was like there and I was like I seen the journal, I like took it and then I went around trying to like
go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
Something.
Okay, so go ahead and roll sleight of hand. What we do.
Okay. I have to get back to my head. Sleight of hand. $17. 17.
Oh, sorry, it was like it cut out. I guess 17. Okay, goddamn. So yeah, so you successfully lift it without anybody noticing.
Bet.
Okay, so now we're back to our other. We're gonna fast forward back to where she's in the back looking. So there's nothing else you want to do while she's gone?
Nope.
Okay.
Wait, I need. Fuck, I don't think I have any ink on me, do I? I'm gonna ask the others if they have like an ink and pen on them.
I'm certain that one of us do.
I'm guessing the fucking Alaris does.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. It makes sense if you had some. So we can say yeah.
Okay. Fuck. What do I want to do here? I don't know. She's come back.
She kind of she starts as you're kind of shuffling, thinking about what you can still do. She kind of like half peeks her head out the curtain again, and she goes, "Now is common speak okay?"
Preferably in Druidic,
translation.
I'm gonna tell her that I need it in Druidic or whatever the fuck that language is.
Druidic. It's been a while since we had any druids here. All right, let me take a look. She goes back and shuffles back on. So as she's continuing her search, is there anything you do next?
Guys want anything? It's on me.
No, Senna, I just want to go to the fucking light.
Yeah, Lars is like, no, I don't think we need to steal anything from this woman. That's all right.
This has been a very entertaining side quest here, though. Gotta say.
I don't do anything else. I just wait for her to come back.
All right, so she shuffles on back and she says, "Well, we were able to find this," and she kind of like plops it down on her little, on her little desk that she uses, and starts flipping through the book. And there's kind of like some illustrations of the local fauna. You see kind of somewhat familiar sights within it from what you've seen in your travels so far. You see these like iridescent, bioluminescent like mushrooms that you've seen in the cave system before, and you're able to kind of like get a sense of like, oh, these grow locally here too, and they seem like a little bit different, but seems to be overlapping with what you've seen so far. So that's like just one of the pages. She kind of just like shows it off to you, and she goes, for just 10 silver it's quite a steal for anyone looking into the druidic arts.
Is this it?
Is what?
Is like, since I was like, I'm like pretending to be your student.
Okay, you want
I'm
Elias to
asking
lie?
him if like that's the right book.
Okay, do you want him to lie?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's not exactly what we're looking for. I just remembered. I actually, oh, crazy story. Um, you know the Druid Grove, they're not that far away, the Mistwood Grove. I actually, yeah, I have a cousin that lives there. You might have known him. You might have met. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's probably he's fine. He's probably okay. It's been a while since you've been there, huh? But like you probably shouldn't go back. You should just probably leave him alone. He's probably safe and sound. Nothing really interesting happened back there, but as a consequence of the nothingness that happened there, I actually ended up with this magic book that tells me all the plants in the area anyway. So I just realized we don't need anything. That's okay. We're fine.
Enough said. And then I'm gonna turn back to the lady and say thank you so much for looking, and we appreciate her time, and then walk out the fucking door.
Alaris like shrugs his shoulders, being like, "Master deceivers."
And then when we walk out the door, and then when we're out of like sight of this lady, I'm gonna give Alaris a high five.
Alaris enthusiastically for once gets to enjoy the high five and joins you in on some of the deception. So that's nice.
Fuck yeah.
All right, so
Back to the lighthouse.
all right, so you guys successfully the old lady heist was a success.
I mean, I was so close to being like, "Hey, I gotta go take a shit," and then Tyr leaves just to get out of that store.
Oh, and like before, like as you go to leave, the old woman calls you back and says, "Wait, the Druid Grove." And she kind of looks up and down, especially Alaris, because he's just clearly dressed like a druid. Wait, I believe we had a traveler come by the shop just a few days ago from that area. I couldn't. She wouldn't really say where she was from, but just by the attire, she seemed to have all sorts of the garbs and accoutrement of an apothecary. Would you happen to have known anyone from there? And with that triggers a quick. Let's do just roll insight to see how much you guys would be able to like put together some dots there.
All right. An 11.
Okay.
And I got that fucking 20.
Holy shit! Very nicely done. So with that, Tyr immediately clicks in his head an apothecary from the Grove, who is a little bit shady about her name. With that, you feel pretty certain, or at least you're highly suspicious, that it might have been Selka.
Mm-hmm. So she said like all she could see was that the person who came by was just in like apothecary garb. That's it.
Yeah, that she had like vials, and just like potions and different materials and herbs kind of strapped to her.
So I'll stop after hearing that and having my little breakthrough thought and say, "So wait, did you get a look at this apothecary's face?"
Oh my, she mainly kept it covered with a cloak. She seemed to be maybe in her mid-20s or 30s, elvish descent as far as I could tell. A terrible scowl on her though, not terribly friendly woman.
Do you know why she was here?
Well, she came by in search of I couldn't say what she hoped to do with them, but she came by and started asking a bit about the town, and just ended up leaving with some parchment and some writing material.
Very interesting. Now, another question about the town specifically. When did those? We heard there was weird stuff happening, weird, creepy stuff from your harbor master. Have you noticed any of that too?
Oh my, Bryn, he works so hard. So the weirdness doesn't seem to reach me, but I overhear conversations, and the local customers obviously face the brunt of it.
And how long ago would you say all of that kind of started? Hearing all this stuff about it, the town happening.
Oh, I would say it only recently started acting up, but this town has always had something going on. You know, many people dismiss it, but I'm old enough to remember what this town was like and what it's become. And a bard, the tales of traveling bards aren't always just tales. So I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss the myths as just that.
I was more trying to figure out if after this apothecary left, maybe things got worse around here, and there could have been something deeper going on with her being in this town.
Well, as
Go ahead, sorry.
no go.
As I said, we might have an idea of who that apothecary was, so we're kind of covering our bases.
Oh, I see. I couldn't say that her appearance here sounded many alarms or anything since then that I've been made aware of.
Okay. So
She didn't seem like she wanted to make herself known to begin with. So if there's something, should I keep my distance from her? If she should come back, maybe I'll alert the authorities or you.
yeah, alert. I would say everyone if you see her ever.
Oh my.
So I oh my. So I'm gonna turn to Senna and Alaris and say, Selka was here, 100% Selka.
That raggedy bitch.
For what she's done to our precious Kyra, she will burn.
So after that, I'll just thank the old lady and continue on, because there's nothing we can do about that now, you know, but the information of her being here, like we don't know exactly what she did here, what she was doing here, period.
She stops you one last time and says, oh, now that I think of it, she did ask me quite an awful lot of questions about the royal repositories. So they're essentially offshore warehouses that are used to store shipments intended for the royal mainland. So it's possible that she's looking for information, or if she is scheming something, it could be related to the royal shipping routes.
Interesting.
What's a repository? Wherever the fuck you just said.
It's like a warehouse it's offshore. It's not in this village, but it's basically in you don't that's all she really knows. That's all I can really tell you, but it's not in this village. It's basically like holding centers for shipments that are supposed to go to the royal mainland.
Think of like an Amazon warehouse.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Like kind of, yeah. That would ultimately end up here in Valoria, which is like the mainland kingdom.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So, man, okay. Well, this is getting a little more harder to I guess where this is going now. I wasn't expecting Selka to be here or even be relevant anymore, or even have a connection to royal repositories.
Or even have to say the word repository. on a Saturday.
Someone
Putting
say
words in my mouth.
suppository.
Yeah, I
Yes.
figured that's where we're gonna
The
go.
royal suppository.
A golden scepter, really?
So, I'll say thanks to the old lady and start heading out because I mean I just want to get to that fucking lighthouse right now.
She's oh, one more thing. No, she.
Yeah.
With that, you make your way out. Bye, dearies.
Bye, Grandma.
How long of a walk is it from where we're at to the lighthouse?
And let's say like maybe 10-15 minutes. It's a pretty small village, you know.
Okay. Is there like, because you said it's like probably what, midday now ish,
We've been
right?
walking around and-
Well, probably
yeah.
before noon, somewhere
Yeah,
around there.
yeah, we could say that. Yeah, maybe around 11 or something.
If I kind of want to like um sit down for a second and then like write in this like journal
Okay, yeah.
before we get to the dude. And I just like want to write like kind of like the history with Darlands without giving like a shit ton of information away, and just like some like weird details.
Okay.
And kind of be like vague but like real like creative about it.
When
But
you say
also,
creative, do you mean like you're lying or?
stretching the truth but make it sound enticing.
Okay, now how much of it is personal, where you're telling you're writing about yourself and or Alaris and Tyr?
Well, no, this is just like me. This is just Senna.
Okay, but how much? So how much of it are you? So you are writing about like your personal story?
Yeah, like my lands.
Okay. Okay. So your lands, but also would it be your life?
No. It'd be like where I'm from, like the city and a bunch of like the history from
So
there.
you wouldn't be telling anything about like yourself, your personality, your family.
No, because based off like what the like, because this dude likes history and probably, and I don't want to give myself away because I'm a fucking thief. So like, why do I want to talk about myself?
Okay.
So especially with like the guild and stuff, you kind of want to keep it on the hush hush.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna steer away from that, but just talk about like where I'm from and maybe some like myths and some other like weird crazy shit that's happened back home that doesn't involve like the Thieves Guild
Okay. Sounds good.
or anything of the line of work. So
Okay.
yeah.
Works for me. Is there anything like specific that you want to mention that could be relevant, or you want to talk to him about or something that I should know about? Or-
No, just like in general.
Okay. Sounds good.
Mhm.
Do Tyr and Alaris do anything? Do you guys join in on the writing, or what do you guys want to do?
I'll the tier will probably help like monitor,
Like
but
grammar?
yeah, so that actually makes sense. But other than that, no. I mean, this is her little side quest, but I'll help.
All right. So if you guys are satisfied with that, you can make your way over to the
I need them
lighthouse.
to grammar check me.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever this universe's Grammarly thing is, I'll use that.
Because Senna ain't the fucking smartest.
All right.
She's dumb as a rock, but smart as fuck when it comes to like stealing and shit.
What a great combination.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Are you writing this thing now?
yeah. Like we're like sitting down on like a park bench or fucking whatever.
Yeah, okay. So you squat down on one of the benches. You take up most of the space. There are like some seagulls that come by. Usually the people who sit there are feeding the gulls. So they're a little bit pissed off once they realize, oh, she's not here for us. And then they kind of just like squawk and waddle away as you continue to write with your tongue kind of like perched out the side of your mouth, just like scribbling away, messily digging through Alaris's very refined and neatly stored ink vial, kind of making a mess of it. So there's like some smudge marks on your hand now, but overall you're doing a good job telling the story. And they're just chiming in every now and then with some grammar checks and some spelling.
Hell yeah.
All right. So with that, are we ready to continue?
Yes.
Right. So let me see here. So as you make your way forward, you see the lighthouse is basically sitting on top of the cliffs path. You can see that the lighthouse is it's still active. Basically, it's a functional beacon for the actual ships. And then as you get closer, you can start to see actually next to the lighthouse, there's kind of a second smaller tower or kind of building. And the lower structure is kind of, it looks like it's more old and using more kind of like architecture that's like more wooden and just kind of from the ports below. It looks like it was kind of like hastily fashioned. And then gradually like built up more and more solidly with more like actual stone, and it looks a little bit more like more money and time was infused in building the place up a little bit better. Let me see really quickly. I want to see if I have a picture of it close up. Maybe not. Right, so we talked to him. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right, so now you get a sense of kind of the lighthouse and the kind of the built-on additions to it that seem pretty different and a little bit eccentric. So they're kind of brass instrumentation as well as like iron fixtures that are fixed onto it. The upper edition is newer and more strange looking. So as you make your way, you can start to see light coming on from inside. There's a light in the library window. As now you're about mid-morning. And what do you do as you approach that path?
Just kind of keep my hand on my axe, and then just be what do you want to call? You know. Here, what you doing?
I was actually going to ask, are there any like signs of life, like any movement in the windows, any noises coming out of the lighthouse or any part of the structures?
You see like every now and then kind of like a faint flickering, like almost like there's movement coming in from, I don't know if you can see my mouse, from like this center tower. This would be, I guess, where the library is.
Okay.
So you can see basically some movement, like someone's maybe hanging around there.
But like we can't see through like the windows like who it is.
No, you can't really see details.
Okay. Well, I would probably start walking up towards the door. Gonna give it a good old knock.
Okay. As you approach the door, you prepare your hand to start knocking on the wooden doors. And before you're able to actually make contact with the door swings open very, very quickly. And before you is Aldrich. He's actually opened the door before you knock. Essentially, he was watching you climb the path from above. And he's standing before you. And hold on, there we go. And before you stands Aldrich. And he kind of excitedly greets you pretty warmly and looks at you basically up and down and noting the fact that like you guys are clearly not from here, travelers. Tell me, do you have what brings you here? Any stories? Anything that you have to offer? Anything that you've encountered in this town that maybe is strange and new? And as he's doing that, he's kind of like looking you up and down. He's like looking at Senna and actually like bringing out like some brass instrumentation to kind of like measure the circumference of her fucking fist. And like he's like measuring the length of Alaris's robes. He's just kind of like analyzing the hell out of you guys.
I would probably, I think the next thing I'd say is like, nice to meet you too, I guess. Could we do this inside?
So, certainly, come in. I don't get much company. Forgive me. Aldrich is the name of me. And what brings you in? As he's kind of like stumbling over his words, he's also stumbling over kind of all the loose shit that's just on the ground. And so he's kind of like trying to clear the entryway to make room for you guys. So it's a lot of different like stacks of books and scrolls and kind of like crates. As well as it looks like research equipment that it looks pretty foreign to you. And he's kind of just like clearing the way, bringing you guys in. And it's as you come in, it's a pretty like well lit, pretty like ornate, fancy, well put together place that's just seemed really cluttered. As it looks like it's basically run by a hermit who's obsessed with books, basically.
Okay. And is he still just kind of going crazy over Senna and Alar's shit?
He's backed off after like analyzing you guys, and like more returned to himself and just trying to like make you more welcome. As he's like passing through a more like kind of like living room area with the surrounding library, just kind of like in a circle that's built in around this main room. Basically, if we look at here, it's basically like a cylinder, right? So around the walls are basically like a bunch of bookshelves, and then in the very center, there's like some seating furniture, and so he basically like clears the way and he like moves the stacks of books, offering you guys a seat, and just starts to ask you guys like, what brings you here? Have you anything to share with me? Anything that stands out from the riffraff below?
We definitely have some stories, but we also have some questions for you as well. Mostly, what are you researching up here?
Oh, well, my research is rather exhaustive, so it in some ways it'd be easier to ask me what I'm not researching here. When I first arrived, I heard stories of the mystical village, a town built on a maritime myth, an ancient evil, a siren queen slayed by a heroic adventure. And in my studies, I've come to realize many things about this town. Some true, some not, some verifiable, some not. But that's essentially what brought me here originally. And yourself?
Interesting. This is where our cool part comes in, I guess, for you. Not sure if you've heard of any of the crazy stuff happening in the forests a little ways away from here.
Well, there's not much that I don't see, and that I'm not made aware of. You'd be surprised what books can tell you, and you'd be even more surprised what technology can show you. And he, as he says that, he kind of gestures to all of his kind of like brass equipment and telescopes and different kind of observatory related items and technology. Are you talking of the commotion in the Whispering Woods, I suppose?
Yeah, we met a wolf ghost spirit who was protecting a shrine, and then that wolf turned into a furry, and we saved a town or a grove of druids from total destruction, but we couldn't save everyone. After that, we learned that for some of the questions that we need answers to, we might need to find someone in this village, specifically you.
Fascinating. And I've heard stories of the wolf guardian that guards the village. I've never been so lucky. What was he like?
Welcoming, very welcoming.
Invasive.
Invasive.
He entered your mind, so fair enough.
That's fair.
Have you any more stories to tell? Maybe a tome of some kind?
No tome here.
Have you stories from your homelands? You seem to be from all over.
I'd rather not talk about where I'm from, if that's okay.
Okay, and from there he backs off and kind of excitedly scurries up to Senna, being like, "And you, my big green warrior."
I will steal everything and anything that you have if let's just say I've acquired a lot of things without purchasing.
I see. Well, knowledge belongs to us all, doesn't it?
Specific type of knowledge, yes.
Alaris like nudges your elbow and is like, "The book, give him the book." He's asking if you have.
I love that Aldrich was basically like, "And you, my big green princess?" You're like, "I will steal everything that you own."
I thought you were gonna give him your book, man.
I was gonna
You don't
use
have
it
to.
as a bribe.
Okay, you can save it for other shit. That's fine. You don't have to use it.
Yeah,
unless you think you need it.
I'm gonna wait to use it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I just wanted to give you the chance to do it because I know we kind of
Yeah,
crossed it.
yeah. I got you.
So from there, he pauses for a moment and looks Alaris up and down pretty keenly, and seems to be getting kind of I don't know how to explain it. Like he kind of feels like he's getting a weird vibe from Alaris, and he's looking up and down at his like druidic clothing, and basically says like, "You're in search of different forms of knowledge, I can tell." Kind of piggybacking off of Senna's comments.
This
So
one's
what-
a smart ass.
So what exactly brings you here that you said I could help with?
This actually, and I pull out the ledger and open it up and hand it to him and say, we've been trying to figure out what is said on this ledger for a while now. There's a lot of importance to us behind some of those things on that ledger. Can you read this?
Okay. So he excitedly grabs it from you. At first he seems like, he's immediately like delighted by the ledger as he starts like flipping through it pretty quickly, scanning it up and down. And he seems genuinely interested in it. So his finger starts tracing over line by line. He comes across some of the more foreign words, and he goes, "Oh, this is elegant. It's ruthlessly practical, but elegant nonetheless. Where did you find this?"
We might have taken it from someone who stole our stuff as well.
Stole your belongings? Okay. As he's saying that, he's looking through, and he sees kind of the list of different items, and he goes, "Oh, I see. Would your belongings to be among these possessions here?" And he points to the list, and among them are your guys' stuff. So Alaris's lantern, and your necklaces.
Yep, that would be it. Does it say where they went, who took them, anything?
He holds onto it. He kind of like pauses for a moment. He indicates to you that he knows roughly what this ledger is. But before he says anything, he goes to Alaris and he says, "What exactly does this mean to you?" And he points at that at his lantern. And this is where, if you want, you guys can speak for him.
Maddie, you want to say something this time?
Figure out the
Basically,
lantern.
he's asking Alaris, like, what is this lantern that was stolen from you?
I can't remember what the fucking lantern is, to be honest with you.
That's totally okay.
Yeah, to be honest, that's why I was going towards Maddie, because she probably
Okay,
I have no fucking idea.
fair enough. So I'll give you like the short of it, so I'm not just like talking to myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's basically, he Alaris doesn't know the full power of the lantern. He explains that it was essentially a relic passed down to him from his former master, who has since died, and he doesn't know its full power or what he's supposed to do with it now that it's in his possession and now it's his responsibility. But he knows, he's seen, you guys have all seen magic items that remind you of it. So from there, you guys remember Kyra's lantern. And so for you guys, do you remember vaguely like what the deal with her lantern was, or like what it could do, or what it was doing?
If I remember correctly, was it focusing some magic? I don't know if it was Kyra specifically, but it was interacting with the woods a bit, and then it interacted with the light after we came out of the underground.
Okay, so you guys jump in and start bridging that gap a little bit and start telling Aldrich about this experience that you had at the Grove,
Mm-hmm.
where you encountered a magic lantern that did have some properties where it could interact with light, and you recounted basically how it seemed to be housing Kyra's soul in it, or housing Kyra herself in it. And then once she took on a different form, she was able to use it to kind of guide the spirits. If you remember at the beacon, she was like kind of swirling it around over her head. And so Aldrich basically puts down your ledger and hurries over to one of his shelves, and he pulls down a couple books. Looking through them, he finally picks one of the three that he found in the stack, and he starts kind of showing you guys that there are these items called soul lanterns that can be used to house the souls of humans as well as great beings. However, there are kind of a subclass of them that are also used to guide the lost souls that roam this plane of existence to hopefully find peace in the next life. So he basically explains to Alaris and to you guys a little bit like that's what you encountered. And whoever Alaris's master was, he left you with a great treasure and an awesome responsibility to be a keeper and shepherd of souls with this lantern. And then he pauses and he reflects on it, saying, "And so you say this was taken from you. Was anything else taken from you? What of you two?" And he looks at Tyr and Senna.
My mother gave me a necklace with a prism-like rock at the end of it, and I know there's something magical about it. I don't know what it is, but I was hoping along my travels I would figure it out. But it's also a family heirloom. And since my family's dead, it's the only thing that kind of keeps them close to me. That's why I need it.
I see. Items of great emotional weight, not just spiritual power. And you? And looks to Senna.
My necklace kind of looks like this axe. Has a small ruby gem in the center of it, around here, and then like I point in the middle of the axe. And it was given to me by an orphan that I used to fuck, was it an orphan? No, it was not an orphan. Fuck,
It was one
wrong
of your
thing.
crew. I think it
Yeah,
was
it
a
was one
young
of the
one though.
crewmates. Yep.
I
Wrong.
think
I
it
was
was.
thinking of the wrong thing. Um it was given to me by someone in my clan as a token of like um perishment. So it just has a deep, meaningful,
I see.
emotional value to it.
Okay, so he quiets down and says, "I see," and gets serious. Um, he he holds that information in his head as he starts to flip through the different pages, and he starts to explain to you like, I can read the main cipher here. It's essentially it's a commercial code that's used by royal couriers, and he's basically able to identify the shipping routes for you, and he confirms that there's also vague mention along these routes of points of interception, where the shipments themselves, it looks like they've been stalled at some point, intentionally or not. There's vague mention of them stopping in the ocean, essentially. So he's able to note to you guys that whoever designed this interception system along these routes, along this kind of royal network, must be doing it with inside knowledge into these supposedly secure shipping routes. And I'll pause there. He has more to say, but I'll pause there. Do you have any questions based on that?
So I'm just for clarity.
Yeah.
So these shipping routes were set up by some sort of. Did he say royal?
The items listed in this ledger are recorded to have been or set to be on shipments that are ultimately destined for like the royal mainland, like to come up to Valoria here. So what he's saying is that like in order for someone to be able to like intercept these shipments along these royal shipping routes, they had to have had like some sort of inside knowledge in order to know like what exactly these shipping lanes, where they are, and
how
like
they
when they'll be expected to be there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there any name on the ledger? Any some sort of identification?
Seal.
Certainly, he looks through it. He's able to identify a couple things, but this is more vague. He starts to explain like there's this older script here. I can't really speak it. I know bits and phrases. It's known as deep speak. Now this is a language written before royals, before everything. This is extremely rare. I can translate fragments of it, but not all of it. So as far as seals or anything identifiable like names, he's able to vaguely make out fragments like one phrase that happens in different places. He says the drowned ones. No, the descended ones. No. And he goes back and forth. It's listed as a few different names throughout this ledger. Basically different variations of that meaning. So if there's any like name or like title that keeps recurring, that's identifiable. That's like as far as he can really get right now is like the descended one.
Okay.
And then as you go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna ask him again. Have you heard of what they're talking about, the descended one, or is there anything you've learned like about that at all?
The closest thing that comes to mind is the founding of this village. Now, this is a point of contention among the locals. There are different accounts depending on who you ask, depending on which book you ask. But the truth of this village, as far as I've been able to surmise, is there was once a siren queen that posed a great threat to the mainland. And so, in order to protect their land, a great and wise hero whose name has been lost to time was able to slay the beast. And from the beast's remains, from the windpipe of the siren, he was able to forge a flute that could be used to compel people's actions and thoughts and behaviors. And so goes the story of the founding bard of the Silver Song village that slayed a sea demon, and from its remains forged a weapon and a tool to keep his people and his land safe forever. Now, the flute itself has been lost to time, and look around you. We have bards and really travelers from all over that originally came here in search of that flute, in search of that weapon, so that they could harness its power for whatever means they might have. I don't know the whereabouts of that flute, but looking at this tome or this ledger more closely, it seems to be that might be the key. And as he says that, he flips to the final pages of the ledger that seem to be sealed shut together, like they're almost like glued together. He basically explains that these sealed pages here require a resonant key. It might just be the very flute that the myth is based on. And how much of that do we need, like follow-up questions, clarification?
No, that actually landed pretty easily for me.
Okay, Maddie, what's your understanding?
Sen doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Okay, do you want me to like really quickly just? I'm talking
No,
about
no,
Maddie.
I
Not just
understand it. I understand it.
That's what I said, Maddie. That's what I said, Maddie. So do you
Oh.
understand it?
I do, yes.
Okay, cool. So do you have any? Yeah. What do you do as you process the information?
I ask him, have you done any research on where the flute could possibly be?
He pauses and go ahead and roll insight, everyone.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, he seems hesitant to you.
Insight. That's a fat fucking 2.
Really don't know what's going on right now. 16.
Not a fucking clue.
Where'd Kyra go?
Yeah.
What happened to the big
Just
tree?
here?
Hey, was there a tree here earlier? What the fuck? Right, anyway, yeah. I rolled a 16.
Okay. With a 16, Tyr is able to get a sense that, okay, now Aldrich's demeanor has kind of changed from this kind of warm and genuinely like welcoming and entertaining presence to now a little bit more hesitant and shifty. And you can see he's pretty deliberately holding back some information from you, or not, or at the very least, like not giving you the full clear picture. So he basically tells you that like the flute is not something that any mere human could procure on their own. It's unreasonable to think that if it still existed, and anyone here could really get their hands on it, it would probably take a being of some serious strength. Although I can't help but think that myths linger for a reason.
So let's say we knew a powerful being that could procure it. How would we go about allowing that to happen?
Oh well, when I said that, I meant more that if someone or something currently had it, they would need to be quite powerful. But if you were able to match their strength, then I suppose you'd certainly be in for a fight.
Can I like bust out my guns? You make this kind of strength?
All right, as you do that, he breaks he like rummages through his like box again, looking for his like tape measure to try and like, oh, now are you full orc or half orc, as he like tries to measure your bicep excitedly.
Half.
Oh my, I should have to visit the mainland one day. If only I could learn more about your people somehow in a book of some kind. I couldn't know. Anyway, so, well, as impressive as these guns are, and they are, and he kind of kisses them, he basically says, I'm afraid you'll need a lot more than that if you hope to have any chance.
Physical strength, yeah?
Say it again?
By physical strength?
More than physical strength is what he means, yeah.
Can I roll 2 perception checks? One on Aldrich and one on the whole room that we're in, or anything that I can see outside.
You could roll like investigation on it. When you say perception on him, what do you want to see? Like his physical appearance, or
No, more like well, kind of. I more or less want to see like if he's giving off any signs of like body language signs, like he's nervous or he's hiding something, or in terms of like not just not giving us the full information we want, but like that he knows something.
Yeah. So I can give you well, so you would have already been able to tell that just based on your insight check. So like I mentioned, basically he seems a little bit hesitant to share all the information that maybe he's holding on to. And then as far as like perception of the room, that's a different thing. Do you want to do a perception check on the room?
All right, let me just explain what I'm trying to do. So when he keeps on mentioning like, that there would be a powerful being that we need to, find the wand, or not find the wand, find the flute, or even harness it, and he, about matching its power, and also the fact that he retracted a good amount once we brought up the flute alone. He's probably referencing himself, and he knows where the flute is, or has the flute.
Oh, Steve, what you should also look for is when he's like talking about like a being or like the flute, see if his eyes shoot anywhere, Because
That's- yeah.
usually when people like are talking about something or like lying about something, they fucking look at it for some strange ass reason.
And it's not just that. Like eyes will dart everywhere, just like not to give
Make
away.
eye
Yeah,
contact.
I know. But like, if you mention like, oh, what about like this? Like, they'll actually look at the thing that they're talking about, even though they're like, oh, I don't know where that is, but then look directly at it.
I mean, just his behavior alone is making me think that he's talking about himself here.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, like, that's something to look out because that motherfucker might have it and not say anything. So
That's what I'm saying. I'm getting that idea right now. So if I should roll for something like that,
Well, that would be an insight, and so you already did roll that.
I
Is what I'm
guess
saying, and you rolled well. Like if you
Fair enough.
want like even like more, you can press him again. I guess if you have like a specific interrogation kind of question, and then and then maybe roll again. I guess you can do another insight.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this without making it like overly complicated.
No, you're good. You're good. It's a good question.
Let's see.
can I roll like an investigation to see where his eyeballs shoot to when
For sure. Yeah, both
he's
of you.
talking? Okay.
Well, again, wouldn't that be insight though?
Well, insight is you can see if someone's bullshitting you.
Here, hold on. Insight allows you to
It's
discern.
wisdom. Insight allows you to discern a person's mood or intentions. So it's like basically like a lidar.
Yeah. So to me, that's what that sounds like. But if you want to do investigation,
Investigation is
allows you to find obscure information in books or deduce how something works. So that's like physical stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at his physical eyes.
Okay.
Like
I
want to see where his eyes
I don't mind.
shoot to.
I don't care either way. Use whichever one is higher if you want.
is he a ghost? I'm looking right at him. He's physical, all right.
You guys,
see the
you guys
argument.
understand what I'm saying, though, right?
No, I completely. And I
100%,
could see the argument either way. So I'm fine with whatever you guys want to do.
I just love that response.
Physical eyes. Look with your physical eyes.
My brand.
My flute.
My flute.
All right. You want to roll?
14.
Okay. And then Steve?
Oh, sure. I wasn't planning on rolling for this, but I'll
Oh,
roll
you
for
don't.
it.
No, I
Why
thought
not?
you were running to like for like investigation or whatever the fuck you're looking for.
Well, if it's that, then yeah, I guess. It's not a big deal. 12 plus 6, 18.
Oh, fuck. Okay. So the both of you definitely rolled well enough, like both of you combined, especially. And not only do you get the sense that he's withholding some information and he seems pretty uncomfortable about it, it doesn't seem like malicious lies. It's more like he's like uncomfortable. And more than that, as you press him, you're able to kind of see him kind of gripping the edge of his desk that now he's like hunched over, which is sitting on top of like just a very massive ornate rug that's kind of like blanketing the room, on top of which is also like the couch that you guys were kind of hanging out on. So he's kind of just like rubbing his fingers on the edge of his desk or the surface of it and kind of digging his fingers into it a little bit, not like crazy, but just like as like a self-soothing kind of thing.
Okay.
Down at it, but that's it.
Okay.
But yeah, he goes, I mean, at the end of the day, you'll require a resonant key, likely the flute, to unlock it, or just something tuned to this original scribing. But I don't have what you need.
Fair enough. Another question for you. Do you know, I'm sorry, before I actually go through that line, what's the bitch's name that got her head cut off?
Lyriel.
Lyriel. I was going to say Kyra, but I know that wasn't it.
Yeah.
All right. So, would you happen to know someone named Lyriel?
Yeah, an old contact of mine. Now, I'd keep my head on a swivel around her if I were you. Not the most trustworthy of sources, but she has connections and she has some good information. She's proven to be useful to me in my travels. Why do you ask?
Well, she's the one who took our stuff. And is really one of the whole reasons we're even standing in your house in the first place. She was the one who recommended us go to you. So why? What were you doing with her?
Well, we go back. When I first arrived on the mainland, I was looking for a way into this village essentially. Um, she got me travel, she got me paperwork all set up so that I could legally and safely establish a residence here. And you know, she has access to certain information and people that could make that process more smoothly, but I don't really associate with her anymore. She provided a service, a useful one, to really expedite my research. It's not really the company I tend to keep otherwise than that.
Oh, well, good to know that you don't really rock with her anymore because she's dead. So
Why, how did that happen? And from there, he runs over to one of his like observatory instrumentations, along with like it has like a note sheet set up beside it. And he kind of like looks through the telescope that seems to be angled in a way that you couldn't tell how he could possibly like see the grove from that telescope, but you don't really know why he looks through it for a moment. And then from there, he updates basically a note sheet that exists on a table underneath it with the information that she's dead, and just asks you like, how did that happen?
Uh, long story. She got caught doing something she shouldn't have.
That
She
beat
was-
the shit out of her.
Yeah,
She
so
was-
with Lyriel, that could mean a great number of things.
Well, one of them was also trying to blow up the grove.
I never felt like she would go so far.
Well, you said she has connections. She herself told us that she has connections. And the fact that she mentioned you specifically makes me think that you know of those connections and who they are.
So you believe she was working in concert with connections to destroy the grove, and that I would have contact with them?
Not about the destroying the grove part, just about who they are.
She wasn't too open about the company she kept, but she kept company nonetheless of all sorts from all over this land. And so I was really just a more isolated interaction with her. It's not like we spent much time together outside of that. And from there, if you want, go ahead and roll insights to see if he's lying.
Thank you. I was just trying to think of what I should do next.
Nat
Oh,
20, baby. Hell, I got my thumb out of my ass.
Okay, so
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I got a dirty 20.
Oh fuck! Okay, great job, guys. All right, so with that, you can tell he's being sincere in the fact that he doesn't. Well, okay. Let me think about this for a second. Hold on, guys.
I can x-ray through his bullshit.
Okay, yeah. So he tells you that he does not know anyone of her contacts, or has had dealings with them in their like pursuit of destroying the grove. He's not he hasn't worked with them. He's not a part of that scheme. And in telling you that the part that you are able to detect is bullshit is when he says like he doesn't know anything about these people, basically. Like you're able to tell, okay, no, he is aware of who these contacts could be, although that doesn't mean he knows them personally or worked with them to like harm the Grove or to do anything else like that. But he knows who they could be, basically.
And what was the last thing he said to us?
I believe the last thing he said was really just like that he doesn't keep their company, he doesn't work with them or contact them. And Lyriel, it's not like he was very close with her or knows her contacts personally himself.
Okay. Yeah.
But you do get the sense that he has an idea of the types of people that could have worked with her to bring about the destruction of the Grove.
So you say you don't really know who they are, which is fine, but you seem to have a decent guess as to who they might be. Care to share?
That's all I can tell you. And as he says that, he kind of like makes his kind of eyebrows go a little bit serious and kind of like nods his head down to like almost indicate to you like that's all he can tell you. That makes sense.
Yes.
Like that's like maybe there is more that he is aware of, but that's all he's able to speak.
So if that's all you can tell us,
What else can you tell us?
what else? Yeah. Also,
yeah.
no. Also, I wanted to actually say something.
Yeah, go.
So is there a reason you can't tell us? Because it seems like someone could be listening.
He ignores that question. Well, not ignores it, but doesn't answer it directly. And instead he says, if knowledge is what you seek, and as he says that, he looks over at Alaris, who is pretty captivated by the library, and he's like half paying attention. He's kind of just like looking through all the different books and everything. Then I suggest, and then he looks back over at Tyr and Senna, you go straight to the source. What better school is there than learning through action?
That's true. And that would hit a bit harder if we knew where said source was.
At that point, he pauses, and I actually need to pause too. So give me a sec to think about this.
Fair enough.
I'm watching this guy on YouTube. Oh, never mind. I was about to say, like, I have the TV muted, but I have like this dude like building like a log cabin with his bare hands. It's very interesting.
Watching the Outdoor Boys?
No, it's I don't know. My YouTube's been having some weird shit where like I would have the Outdoor Boys on, and then like it would change to like a really weird fucking channel that I've like never like watched before. Like I was cooking dinner and I had Outdoor Boys on. Next thing you know, I heard a bunch of like raining and thundering. Like, what the fuck? God damn, it's like coming down, right? It's like fucking damn, that's loud as shit, right? Well, news to fucking me when I look over, it's one of those fucking sound channels, and it was thundering and raining, and that's the whole fucking video was that of those sounds. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? So I had to fucking get up and change the channel. Like, like what is this shit?
Meditation, probably.
Yeah, yeah, it's like some kind of like weird shit like that. I'm like, I didn't ask for this shit, but sure.
Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so he basically starts to explain to you on the outskirts of this village, starting to verge on the open ocean, there is rumor of a powerful beast that is known to abduct sailors, hoard their treasures, and I can't help but assume it's connected not only to this village, but to the power of the flute. That's as good of a lead as I can really give you on where to start, but be prepared.
It's always one thing after another. Every time. Maddie, you got anything to say? I'm trying to think.
I'm still typing. Give me a second. Okay. I will. Should I use that book now? Should I use the book? See if there's anything else. So we can get like probably more information from them.
I mean, why not? If we're gonna have questions answered, he seems like the guy to do that.
Okay. So when we're talking to him, I'm going to I don't even have a fucking bag. I'm gonna reach in him. I guess my waistband, just fucking slew as shit. And take out the book and then hold it in my hands and kind of point it towards him and to explain that this is like a book of my history and where I come from, and I learned that he was a man who loves history and loves things of that nature. So I'm gonna hand him this book for um um oh fuck, what's that word? Why am I blanking on it? Yeah, he likes fuck my brain today. I'm gonna because he likes history and whatnot, and I'm just gonna hand it to him uh as like a token appreciation, I guess.
Okay.
And see how far that gets us.
Okay, great. So he accepts it with gratitude, and that kind of like snaps him out of his nervous state, as he's genuinely curious and excited to receive it. So with gratitude, he basically says, I personalized scripture illustrations. I can see you've put a lot of detail, and the line work is exquisite, and it's a smudgy mess. But he's being polite and sincere. And so with that, he starts like to flip through a couple of the pages at least, and decides like, I'll save this for later. And he walks over to one of his bookshelves, and places it right next to a far more like massive and fancy looking book that is just titled like The Great Big Book of Everything Related to Scarred Wastes. Basically the complete knowledge of your homeland in great detail, as accounted by like verified historians. Basically he places it like right next to it, and it's like much smaller, but he values it and he gently places it right next to it. So he goes, I suppose as a token of gratitude, I could give you a little bit of more information. I should say to you, if the stories are to be believed, and the creature, the beast that might now possess the flute is anything like its original wielder, then you will need to face it with order and peace in your minds, and a firm grasp of who you are and what reality is. Do not succumb to its tricks. And with that, it's really getting late, and he looks outside the window, and the sun is starting to set. It's starting to get dark.
So I take the ledger that he put on the desk before I forget it, put it in my pocket. Would it be okay if we come back if we have any more questions?
Of course, I look forward to hearing your journey. Sharing information with fascinating travelers is one of my great passions.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all your help and helping us answer these questions. It's been giving us a headache.
I can imagine. I know the feeling. And then the camera pulls back, and he's just in the center of this massive fucking like shrine to obsession of knowledge that he has, this massive library.
Also, one more thing before we go. We were talking with the harbor master, Bryn, and he mentioned something that I was also curious about. He mentioned a beam of light that wasn't the actual light on the lighthouse come out the top part of the lighthouse, just a short beam. What is that?
I'm afraid that's all you'll get from me today.
Alrighty. Well, thanks again. And I turn towards the door we came through.
I'll say thanks and follow suit.
Take care and safe travels.
Alaris is trying to steal books in the background.
Yeah. He's like, oh, what, we're leaving?
Knowledge.
Oh, you never get to do nothing. All right, like
yeah, just like us near the door. Alaris, we're leaving.
It's like, not to worry. There will be on his way out. Aldrich, what's the word I'm looking for? Reassures Alaris, like, not to worry. There'll be time to talk more of lanterns and groves and everything else that life has to that is worth investigating in life. And so with that, the sun is setting. You guys leave. He closes the door behind you with a smile, with a warm smile. And as you make your like steps, or as you start to descend the lighthouse path once again, and the darkness of the evening settles in, do you guys do or say anything at this point?
I need some more beer.
To the tavern.
Uh,
Do you
I
want to
Hungry
theory
and tired
craft?
of
Do you want to
shit.
like
I need a
conspire,
beer.
like even above table talk? Do you guys want to talk to each other about like what the fuck you think the mystery is, or like what's happening, or who you trust, who you don't trust, like what's going on?
I have an idea about relatively what's happening, not the whole thing in general, but there's obviously something going on with the royal, uh, I get like all the royal like shipping ways and whatnot, and that
The Navy.
and that all these people that the Mira dealt with were all kind of like in the shadows royalty. They have like really a lot of power. So I'm guessing it has something to do with uh, the king and people around his court, and him trying to deal with some shady shit for reasons I don't know yet. But I have a feeling that this is all kind of a government psyop.
Okay.
I feel the same way, not dead ass. So
All right. Cool. All right. Do you want to do anything else before you start to descend and make your way back to the tavern, I guess? Maybe go to an inn, I guess, maybe after that.
well, does the tavern have an inn?
Yeah, we can say it does. Why not? Just make it
Okay.
easier story-wise.
So yeah, we'll just go to the tavern and have a beer and rent a room.
Okay. So as you start to descend the steps of the lighthouse tower, let's see here, you hear a voice cut in, not even bothering with greetings, but it's kind of this low, hushed, almost like serpentine kind of tone to it, saying, "You found something that wasn't meant to be found." And you look over, and standing there is Selka.
Like
With
she
her,
says that?
yeah, she says that as you turn towards her, that's you identify she's the one who said it.
Like right when we see her, like, bitch, I
How
thought you were
far-
dead.
How far is she from me?
Okay.
Not leaping distance.
Damn it.
Okay, she's like way down. If you're at the top by the door, she's like way down. Okay.
Can I give one of those like fly middle fingers, you know, like when you push up your glasses?
You can do whatever you want.
I want
So
no
you do-
fucking shit. I
Well, then why
want
you
to like,
asking? Can I do that? Of course you can do it.
I want to do that.
Okay, you do that. She's like just as rambunctious as ever.
What are you doing here, Stelka?
Believe it or not, I'm looking out for you. So
You're right. That's hard to believe.
she continues to explain. I'm not here to take it from you. She's referring to the ledger that you found. I'm here to tell you what it leads to. There's a creature in the coastal caves southwest of the harbor. It's been disrupting perfectly legitimate commerce, defiling royal lanes. It's dangerous, and it should be dealt with.
Why don't you deal with it?
Oh, that's good.
I believe you've proven yourselves to be more capable than even I expected. And I'll say too, Many are impressed with your efforts. There's no reason we should be enemies. We have a common goal.
So
Common enemies.
2 questions. What is it? And what do you get out of it?
You're departing the scholar's house, she says with like contempt, as if she doesn't even regard him as a scholar of any kind. Tell me, do you feel he was being forthright with you?
So far, barely anyone has been forthright with us.
Which brings you to me.
Even less forthright. How are we supposed to believe whatever you're saying means that our attentions align or our goals align?
I don't need your trust. I don't expect it. We have shared interests. That's all I need. That's predictable. That's useful. The scholar in there, if it can even be called one, he has his own interests. They don't align with mine. They don't align with yours. I'd recommend holding on to what you found nice and close.
Well, how about this? We'll sleep on that offer. Where can we find you?
Oh, don't bother. I'll find you.
Edgy. I like it.
She raises her cloak and begins to walk away.
Dear, I want you to check, like where you put that ledger.
I mean,
Like, make sure you still have it.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely still have it.
You sure?
I mean, I don't know how to do this, to be honest.
He still has it.
Okay, I want to make sure that bitch didn't fucking take it. Cause
Yeah,
Boris
it's officially canon. Don't worry.
I was gonna say I don't know how she can. She's pretty far away from us.
Yeah.
You never fucking know it, that slimy bitch.
It's magic. All right. Yeah, so with that, what do you guys do next? As she
Still
kind of
head
disappears into the
Like
darkness.
fucking seething, just looking at her dumbass.
Let's still head to the tavern.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because I mean, there's nothing else we can really do about it. We know Selk is here.
Mhm.
Aldrich didn't give us a whole lot of concrete information. But it seems that there is a mystery afoot and a monster to slay. So I think the best idea would just be to kind of sleep on it.
Okay. So back at your lodgings that night, each one of you, the three of you, find something on your windowsill. It's a small spiral-shaped shell, and it's kind of perfectly placed on the center of the windowsill. You don't see any footprints or any evidence that, or any other evidence that anyone was there to place it there. The windows are latched, meaning they're locked from the inside. So whoever left them didn't come through there. That night, there's a note that's slipped underneath your doors. We can say door. We can just make it one. As you open it up to read it, you see no signature on it. Just a couple brief sentences. It says, "Watch what you tell him. The bard watches all, but I watch the bard." Below those words are a tiny smear of something dark. It looks like it could just be something that's spilled on it. It's just kind of wet. almost like it just feels like maybe it was dropped in the seawater or something left behind by a hand that was just out of the sea. So someone was watching you closely enough to find your rooms and offer that warning to you.
Interesting.
Well, I already kind of guessing it was Selka who did that, or got someone to do that, but does explain why Aldrich did not want to
Tell
talk
us
about
that.
shit. Yeah, no, I can see why.
Mhm.
Okay.
And with that, we'll pick it up next time.
Hey!
Pretty good. Pretty
Welcome
dang
to season.
damn good, man.
No,
Very,
that
very
was good.
Yeah,
I had
we're
fun with that
planting
one.
seeds. We're planting seeds.
I was very much interested in this mystery. Like right when you were like, "There's creepy shit happening in the town." That's why I went straight to Dredge to show you that, because I was like, "I love
like
this
your
shit."
spirit.
Yeah, yeah. I
I like
love
town.
this.
I like water.
It's great. You talk about John Gods? I love John Gods.
Pretty much, dude.
Very cool, man. Very well
Yeah.
done.
Well, I'm excited. I'm also, I think, in a better place to be able to like not obsess over spending so much time writing wise, which means like I can like do more visuals and we can screen share more. So that should like be more balanced and more fun, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Hell yeah.
I know we're all like feeling it out as we go. It's not, straight up like known what you're
Yeah.
gonna do, because I know you've changed up a lot of shit since you started, like how you're doing stuff, and it's not
Yeah.
like so.
Yeah, and you guys always throw me for a loop, like the fucking let's go to the notary or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, let's get some stationery. Like, is there a
Like,
Staples here?
That
So-
side quest was like had me going like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, so if you guys do like I which I loved that you did it, which means we can just play and like go off script, it's fun. And then I can still find a way to like have it mean something. Like I can make the old lady say something that could be useful to you guys that maybe I planned somebody else was going to say it to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, do that all you want. Like we'll make it work. It's fun. It's fine.
No, yeah, it's just really funny how every single time there's there's always something that happens that you're like, fuck, why did these guys do that?
I know I like it because like I overthink everything, but then you guys will ask like a natural but also like a really good question where I'm like, fuck, give me a sec.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that doesn't conflict with like the next 8 hours that I have.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy you do that, so you're not just like throwing shit in the air and just being like,
Yeah.
oh wait, yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, no, you'd be surprised. Like, there's quite a bit of shit that's like improvised or just like, it feels right. So I'm like, okay, I can figure it out later. And also, it seems like a good reward for what you guys just did or what you're asking. Like, it feels like you should get more, even if I didn't have it prepared right away.
Yeah, and the fact that you're actually like still bringing in some good shit with all the curveballs we have been throwing at you.
Yeah,
Solid work.
So yeah, what do you guys think? Are you excited for the next part?
This one's gonna be interesting. I like.
Yeah,
so
we're taking to the seas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to
really-
meet Cthulhu.
You know what's really fucking funny?
What?
So I was talking to Steve not too long ago about the Warhammer thing, and I kept asking if I could be a pirate. And
Yep.
yeah.
No, Rag and I actually had a nice sit down talk like 2 days ago. Because he apparently, I didn't know this, has a ton of 40K lore in his head that he's read over the years. So he was racking his brain trying to find a pirate-like Space Marine Legion specifically for you. Like, what's pirate-like? Not much, because everything is pretty much metal and swords.
Yeah, but there's ships. It's just different, you know. It's just,
Yeah.
the analogy can maintain.
I want to talk like a pirate.
You can still do that.
I
Yeah.
know, but I want to
Yeah.
be a pirate though.
Well, you can do well. This can be your pirate era. You can do this in this campaign too, because we're gonna have some water adventures for sure.
You're in your
Fuck
pirate
yeah.
era. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Right.
And Dan, did you like my journal book history, whatever the fuck that was?
Oh yeah,
Idea?
and as soon as you said it, I started salivating because I was like, "Oh my god, he can use this against her." I'm like, I just want in my brain. I fast forwarded to the part where like Tyr and Alaris were like, "You told him everything." No, but you reined it in. You didn't tell him like all a bunch of personal shit. So there's
Mhm.
like there could be enough in there where I could bring it back, and I'd like to bring it back in the story. So yeah, you can probably
That'd be
expect it.
interesting of where.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like so personal where it's like he knows my deepest fears, like because you obviously didn't share anything too personal. So
Yeah.
part of me wanted you to. But yeah, this is fun. I'm starving. I'm gonna go
Fair
eat.
enough. All right, man.
But yeah, appreciate you guys. You're the best as always. This was fun. I'm
Mhm.
down for more next weekend. We can even do it in person.
Yeah, I'm down.
Sure. That sounds good to me.
Sweet. I'll see you guys then.
You start, let's
Sounds good to
go.
me.
Bye.
Peace.